I think focus is always the path. I think look at whoever is your hero, look at how they won. It wasn't by trying to do 5 multiple streams of income at the beginning. Study the people who you love and look at how they started and see if they tried to start 10 businesses at the beginning. They may have tried multiple ones and failed, but like the thing that helped them win was that one thing that they went off and crushed. So pick the one and then crush it.
As an entrepreneur, like the journey, I guess, starting from the beginning to like where you are now, does the hunger like continue to grow, or does it stay the same, or how does that work out? Do you ever feel like I should take it easy, and then you're like kick yourself in the butt and you're like, let's go, like I can't be stagnant?
It's gotten more intense with time.
Okay.
Recognizing what I'm capable of has forced me into more action. So at the beginning, it's just survival mode. At the beginning, it's just, I don't want to make $300 a month anymore. Like, I need to figure out a way to survive, right? And just self-worth, knowing that somebody cares about the stuff that I'm doing. Then when we sold our business, I didn't make generational money, but then I didn't have to worry about what money I was going to make. I was 22, so a good position to be in. But it also sucked in that I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I just spent the past 3 years every day doing this thing, and now I don't know what to do. So I tried a whole bunch of stuff. One of them was being a VC. And then once I discovered this stuff of helping entrepreneurs, it became almost an addiction, and then recognizing the impact that it can have, recognizing that, 250 million of people have watched my videos. It's crazy. It forces me to do more. So the hunger, once you find your purpose, the hunger gets stronger as you get more confidence. You're like, oh, I could do that. I bet I could do that too. And that, and you want to just keep pushing it to see how far you can go with it.
I know there's different opinions with many entrepreneurs as far as like, should you try to find multiple streams of income at the beginning, or should you focus and put your eggs all in one basket and execute that one and then start expanding out? What's your take on that, and what do you think is the best route to take as an entrepreneur?
I think focus is always the path. I think look at whoever is your hero, look at how they won. It wasn't by trying to do 5 multiple streams of income at the beginning. It just wasn't. It's a quick way to make lots of little tiny bucks, but not to make big bucks. Just like, should I be on every social media network, or should I focus on one? If you try to do all of them at the beginning, you'll suck at all of them. And you'll get little tiny followers on all of them, but you never crush it. So pick the one and then crush it.
Okay.
It's tempting because you see opportunities. This is what the entrepreneurial mind does. You see like, oh, I could do that.
Exactly.
Oh, and I can make some money here. And you can. And you make just little money in all these little spots. But then you never end up crushing anything. So study. This is what I do. I study successful people. Study the people who you look up to. Just like I did with Bill Gates. And I didn't really, that's what got me into the pattern of studying people, because it worked. Study the people who you love and look at how they started and see if they tried to start 10 businesses at the beginning. They may have tried multiple ones and failed, but like the thing that helped them win was that one thing that they went off and crushed. And then as you build a team and scale, you can look at, okay, I got this down, I'm going to go do this now.
What is your advice on working with friends? Because I have friends that are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs, or like have seen me take a step towards entrepreneurship and trying to build my own kind of thing. And I get advice from other entrepreneurs like, no, it's like stay away from your friends, or don't mix family and business and all this stuff. But then you see some close friends, take off with their businesses. So what's your...
I love working with friends. Just depends on how well you can communicate. So the first guy I hired in my business was my best friend, Andrew. I had a website. I was writing content. I wanted someone to do all the research on the people and then write articles. He was an English major. He loved to write. So great. Hey, I'll hire you. Come work for me. And he agonized over every single word like he was writing some epic novel and just took so long to get content out, and we're both frustrated. I'm frustrated that I'm not getting content fast enough, and he's frustrated that he's letting me down. And so we both decided that it wasn't going to be a fit. But we're still friends. If you can have good communication, you can make your way through it. It's not that you suck, Andrew. It's that this is what I need, and he gets it too. So I think when you work with people who are your friends, you have the trust versus somebody fresh coming out. I love, if you look at like the mafia rule, they go, would you rather have somebody love you or hate or fear you? They go fear. I choose love. I'd rather have my team love me.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather work with people who love me. So I almost want to guilt Danny into working harder because he loves me so much.
That's great. Yeah,
that's my style. It's not the only way.
Right.
If you suck at communicating, then don't work with your family. If you're worried that Aunt Susan is gonna make it a super awkward Thanksgiving because she gave you $40,000 for your business and you lost it all, then don't do that.
Yeah. So it's basically kind of understanding who you are as a person, and then understanding where they are, who they are too, and then you would have to just
imagine the worst case scenario.
Right.
Imagine they come on and they suck. The thing that you thought to be great at, they actually suck at. Then how do you have that conversation to kick them out and still be friends? Could you still be friends?
Right. Wow. It's a good way to look at it.
And then if you can, then you go and you do it.
Right. Okay.
Right? I'm working with Nina right now on this, right? Nina had a full-time job. She quit to run the tour because she loves organizing events. And I don't do a ton of events that need organizing because I might get paid to go speak at something, but there's zero organization. They all do that, and I just show up and talk. But this, we're putting the whole thing on, partly because Nina loves doing it. So, okay, great. You run the whole tour. And for the most part, she's doing a fantastic job. Nina, you listening? Right? No, it's been great. Like, we haven't had any major mistakes or flubs or anything. But what happens when we go back home? The tour's over. What does she do? Does she go back and get another job? Do we organize something else? Do we find something else in the company to do? I don't know. It may be that I try to put her in another position and she sucks at that and she hates it. And maybe I can't create enough for her skill sets that she stays, and so she has to go get another job. I might have to kick my wife out of my company. I don't know. We can navigate through that.
Right.
Right? We're not going to split up over that. So it's okay. But can you do that with your friends that you're thinking about?
Yeah. I think I probably could. A couple of them. Some of them I probably wouldn't work out.
And maybe you lead with it. You have the conversation like, hey, maybe this won't work out. I value your friendship more than this idea right now. So maybe it won't work out. Or maybe you'll let them down. Maybe you're the one who sucks. Right? Maybe they're crushing the code and you can't get anything to happen.
Right.
And they kick you out.
Yeah.
Right? Are you going to be okay with that? Like, they crushed it.
Yeah.
Did everything you asked them to do. And then you suck at selling it. You get zero pickup. And they're like, dude, I gotta move on.
Right.
Are you going to be okay with you being on the one who sucks? Like, you're being broken up with instead of doing the breaking up.
Right.
Can you handle that?
Yeah, that's a lot. That'd be a lot to take too.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll still suck. It's not like, oh my God, this is no problem, easy, right? It's going to feel crappy. But can you still respect your friend and keep a friendship and not look at them every day and say like, oh my God, I let them down, or you let me down, you suck. It happens in a lot of, if you think to your school days, when you're on a team project, somebody often ends up carrying that project. If you have 4 people on the project, there's one person who's usually doing most of the work. It always works. Right? And it's probably usually you. And so, but like, what ends up happening if that's your friend?
Right.
You're carrying them hard and you've split your business. Maybe you have to adjust the equity. So when people start off, hey, 50-50, okay, great. You get into it, you're doing way more than 50% of the work. Can you have the conversation and say, you know what, I'm bringing in way more than you are. I'm just putting in more effort. I still recognize your value. I think we need to adjust the equity to 75-25.
That's great.
Can you have that conversation?
Right.
Because otherwise you're gonna resent them
Right.
for the whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know you're putting in more effort than they are. You still recognize they have value, but not as much as what you're bringing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all of those conversations you have to be willing to have.
Okay.
Can you have tough conversations?
Right.
And if you can, then it can work out.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
If you get too caught up on the sensitivity of it, if they walk into your office and say, man, I don't know, like, I think you suck at this,
Mm-hmm.
and not explode on their face and then feel terrible about it.
All right. At the end of the day, it's business is right. It's
Yeah,
like,
you have to,
you have to
get,
have those.
and that skill will help you in life.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to have a tough conversation with your girlfriend or wife, or with your mom, or with your brother.
Right.
It's not something that you look forward to,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna have to do. How are you gonna fire somebody in your company? It sucks,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna have to have tough conversations.
Right.
And so training yourself
Do so.
to do it. Yeah.
You said like use pain to help others as far as like your passion, like your own personal pains. For me, that's actually like completely true because 2 years ago, I was going through a lot and I used that to fuel me to get outside of my comfort zone and try new things and like try to grow as a person and develop as a person. What's your advice for trying to help others that you see in pain or going through similar situations and trying to convince them or help them and tell them, look, like you can get through this, but you can also use this to take yourself to like a whole new level?
You have to meet people with compassion where they're at. Some people will be ready to hear your message, and then you can take huge leaps forward.
Mm-hmm.
Other people, they're not ready to hear it. And so you coming in all hot with energy and like, man, you could change your life. They're going to think, screw you, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're not ready to hear it, even though it's all love that you're trying to give them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to meet people with compassion where they're at. Some people, just being around you, recognize it's planting a seed. You going off and having amazing success and you chasing down your dreams will inspire the people around you without you even saying anything. You just constantly planting seeds. Some people won't even want to get any advice from you.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll see you doing it. They'll see the energy. They'll see how happy you are. And then they'll have a moment of weakness and say, hey, man, I'm struggling with this. You think you can give me a hand? Give me a hand? And you're not judging them. And you help them, whatever the next step is. And it might be just watch a video or read this book or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem. When you go off and you've made a big change, we want to bring it to all the people that we love.
Right.
Like, you can go do this too.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not ready to hear it. Just like you from 3 years ago probably wouldn't have been ready to hear you from now talking to them. Like, get out of here.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you meet people with compassion where they're at. I love taking giant leaps, but if people aren't ready for it, I'm happy to just slowly walk across the sidewalk together.
Mm-hmm.
And having that patience and just knowing, because it's frustrating because it feels like it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I could really help them and it's not
Right.
enough. They're not doing, but then you're judging them for not doing more, and then
Right.
they'll feel the judgment, and then it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's having empathy and compassion that they're here because of a reason, and you understand that reason. So now you're their friend. They're much more likely to listen to you than if you're coming down from up high. Easy for you to say, and you're judging them for not taking action.
Right. Barbara Corcoran on Shark Tank once said she only invests in the entrepreneurs that have a story that she knows will push them when the times get tough in their business. So like I remember like these students came on and like they're kind of like from a wealthy family and were given everything, and she was like, yeah, I can't invest in you because you haven't had any like pain in your life, like significant pain. Is that what you see in when you're looking to invest in people as well? You want to hear like their story of pain or something?
It's very rarely the kids of rich people who go off and do great things.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
They have the money, they have the resources, they have the connections, they have everything lined up, and they very rarely go off and do anything amazing. Whoever your heroes are, chances are they came from a worse situation than what you have right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody DM'd me and said, hey, I haven't gone through a lot of pain. Can I still build a successful business? Like, ooh, I don't know, because I haven't seen it. Because everybody who's had massive success came from somewhere really bad.
Right.
And without that pain and struggle, I don't know that you can go off and do something amazing. I'm excited to find that person. And it's for someone who's believed, who like only sees the positive.
Right.
Somebody who hasn't been through something, I don't know how you do it.
You think it can be created? Because
you can, but you won't do it to yourself.
right. I just think of David Goggins and his book, or he's just like put himself in all these crazy situations of physical pain, but also mental.
It's a step by step.
Getting
it's
people
like
to go that far.
when we were talking last night about the boom boom. That's it. Painting your nails, coming up and doing hacky sack at the front,
Right.
and then that leads to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Thank you
Hey,
for that.
awesome. Thank you so much.
That helped.
If you want to spend some one-on-one time with me, I have a special offer happening right now. Go check out the website right next to me. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.